Well, hello there. Hello, the Uber Tuber Ubers and Tuberettes alike. It's a short talk in the trailer park with an old guy. It's a Thursday evening, well, kind of late afternoon, more kind of 6:20 maybe. So I think the sun will go down in about another hour and 20, hour and 30. So finally, I think we're near the end of the heat of the day. I don't think it's going to get much hotter out there. It got up to maybe 102 today, and that's not terrible, but it was another day off for me because that whole episode with the eyeball thing. Here we go on the health bender again. Anyway, I had to go visit a new doc today, and this guy's gonna he's prescribing me for some hypertension drug stuff, and he's gonna try to take it through this nice and slow. And so I said, here, let's just cut to the chase, doc. The real reason I'm here isn't to become your patient. The reason I'm here is I want to get an eye surgery. Give me an estimate. How long is it going to take for you to clear me to go have them do that little thing now? He said maybe 5 to 6 weeks. And I thought, wow. So here we are, middle of August, and I thought, at the end of September, possibly, early part of October, maybe. It's like, what the heck just happened there? So at any rate, that's the way the roulette wheel of happy eyeballs fell out this time. So I just thought, well, you know what? Really, am I going to do about this? And so I did get the guy at least to agree that put no restrictions on me in terms of going back to work. The restrictions had to do with the eyeball thing, and that was only for 1 week, and we blew by that. So I'm in good land, I think, for the eyes, and keep going, and we'll see what happens. Hey, I wanted to pass on something to you. I've listened to a few things by this guy in the past, and he's a pastor, and he's an excellent dude. I'm not sure I agree with everything the man has to say, but talk about just having a basic, this guy is square, he's straight, he's sane, he's sober, he says things that actually make sense, that cohere with, the reality that you and I sort of remember in space-time. His name's Doug Wilson. The video I'm going to recommend, too bad I'm too old to figure out how to put that HTTPS thing, that link at the bottom. Sorry, wrong gringo. But anyway, the name of this thing is You Were Born for This Hour. That was the title. Doug Wilson, and I don't know who TP USA is, but it's TP USA Faith was the way it was listed. So it was at some sort of, like a seminar or a big gathering of folks, and it was an excellent talk. So I listened to two other short talks by Mr. Wilson, and one of them was kind of critiquing a Tucker Carlson vid, and he does an excellent job. He's got a real good presence, and the thing that's it's just so refreshing to hear a guy say that, what we really need is a backbone in our leaders. What we really need. He was talking about how, with all these freaks going down the street with their chains, their dog chains, and all their pierced things in their faces and whatever it is. And I mean, they're serving no purpose culturally. They're serving no purpose for their own families or anyone else. And he said, what we really need is a famine. So I thought, well, that seems like a pretty strange way for a Christian teacher to talk. So I enjoyed listening to the guy. If you can stand a guy who just talks straight and doesn't monkey around with a lot of two-faced junk, Doug Wilson's a real good guy. Pastor Driscoll out there in Phoenix, I guess it is, Mark Driscoll. I listen to him sometimes, and Driscoll's a good preacher too. Very, very strong Christian dude, and comes across straight. You can understand what he's saying, and no, he's not playing footsie, and he's not trying to score points with anybody. He's just laying it out the way it is in the Bible. So anyway, just wanted to encourage you some. It's a good day to be unemployed. So I'm going to go back to work tomorrow, and who knows what we're going to get into. I heard next week we've got a dealy whopper with another crawl under the house and bang your head 1,700 times, and repipe job. So we'll see how that goes. And golly, I'm getting so old at this. This morning I woke up. Here's another health issue, another health crisis. I woke up and my right elbow was sore, and I thought, what? It's not like I walked in the middle of the night and went bang into a refrigerator, or someone dropped a rock from a half mile up. But I have no idea what that's about. But you get a lot of mystery pains and aches and all that stuff. So you just got to kind of slide it off and keep moving. And if I took time off for every time I'd been cut or hurt or something like that, I'd be unemployed most of my life. I tell you, I'm clumsy when I get to working, and I try not to be too clumsy. You don't want to cut off valuable body parts. But at any rate, it's nice knowing that in here in the midst of all this mayhem and chaos and lunacy, that as the world continues to turn your stomach and mine, that there's men out there like Pastor Driscoll and Pastor Wilson and there's a lot of other good ones too. But the thing is that what comes across so plain and simple is that when the truth is presented on its own terms, by its own words, without the maligning, double talk, and sleazy BS of the so-called left, it wins hands down, and that's why I believe that the communist terrorist really does not want any part of getting involved with a debate with DJT. He would mop the floor with her. The left doesn't have any ideas of their own. It's like the devil. The devil doesn't come up with any real new inventions. He just takes real things that God has made and tries to make these mockeries and distorted contraptions, which are supposed to be somewhat like, but better, you see, than the original. And so, you don't have a Christ in the devilish system. You have an unchrist, an anti-Christ, an anti-anointed one. And so, in other words, the enemy has a few tricks in his bags, but when the power of truth comes out and just stomps on it square in the neck, it's like the ancient prophecy spoken to our parents having to do with the enemy. And speaking of the seed of the woman, the enemy would bruise the heel of the son who was coming, and that son would crush the head of the serpent. And so when Jesus comes around and inspires his folk, and the word is spreading, and you're no longer in a kind of a famine for the word of God, and the word is being spoken and clearly and understood, then the devil just can't stand it. He's got to get lost. So hands down, go listen to Doug Wilson. You'll have a good time, and who knows, might even learn something. Couldn't hurt. Might try it, So anyway, I hope you can find something to do at work tomorrow, and it just doesn't involve, being involved in horrible stuff. I was crawling through some muck the other day. It was just like, oh, this job is going to be horrible. But we palmed it off for the future, so that doesn't make it any better. It's just that maybe by then some of the mud might be dried up. We'll see about that. Today's unpaid sponsor, by the way, Bone Chiller. You know why I bought it? Because it's cheap. But it tastes good. It's a brown ale. It's not as good as Kilt Lifter, but I couldn't find any over there. So anyway, have you a good day. Find something real. Find something good. Find something true. And remember, our testimony is of the one who came into this world. The one who, he doesn't need us, but boy, do we need him, huh? And so, in other words, our testimony isn't so much about morality, although it is about morality. It isn't so much about the ethical norms, and oh yes, it's about ethical norms. It's about, really, at the center of things is a new start. The King of Kings, the highest of the high, the Lord of heaven and earth. He came and was basically mistaken for being a peasant. He was despised. He was rejected, and the leadership of his people at that time hated him and arranged to have him killed. And they'd do it again if they had half a chance. But the righteousness of God shines brighter in that he speaks to your heart. And in your heart, what we need to know is that, have we got a way to get past judgment? Have we as humans got not a pass because somebody paid on that? But in other words, is there a route out? Is there a way out of this destruction and the chaos which must come? Yes, there is, and it's under the covering of the blood of the Lamb and the broken body. So our testimony is about him, and it's about his resurrection, it's about his lordship, and it's about his presence in our lives, isn't it? So try to remember that. He's the one who, coming into our world, has made all the difference. He's the one who brings hope. He brings light. He is light in person, and our brag is about him. So just wanted to kind of pass that on today, and you have a good day and find something to smile about. The world's gloomy enough. Let's stamp out at least one small corner of that between you and me. Okay, have a good day. Bye bye.